When you learn something, you form new synapses. When you unlearn something, you form new synapses. By driving these signals up the vagus nerve, increasing neuroplasticity, these post-traumatic stress patients, many of them had significant benefit from their therapy, and it was lasting, is lasting.
It's almost like they have to unlearn the memory.
Absolutely, that's what the point of the therapy is.
Because the memory, if you're reliving it 5 times a day, it's almost like your body's in that trauma now.
It's a new experience when you live a memory again.
Isn't that interesting?
This is, I mean, trial lawyers have known this for decades.
And so you could be living in a war that you went through 10 years ago, but your brain is reliving it, rethinking it fresh. And so you're in that heightened state. It's going to be chronic illness, right?
Absolutely.
And so it's really more about, is it about eliminating the memory, changing the memory, reinterpreting the memory and creating meaning behind that memory so there's a benefit to it? Like, even though you're not a psychiatrist, what is that process so we can actually heal the mind, the thinking of the mind that's causing the stress in the body?
Yeah, I think psychiatrists, psychologists, and philosophers are talking about this now and trying to figure out the answer to that. You know, how much is unlearning, how much is relearning, how much is adapting. But at the level of the synapse, which Charles Sherrington taught us, if you understand the synapse, you can assemble an entire nervous system, even with 100 billion neurons. At the level of the synapse, vagus nerve stimulation enhances neuroplasticity. I mean, this has been known for decades. Years ago, there was a fascinating study. Patients who had an implant for their epilepsy. So in these cases, these are people with serious disorders, with seizures, epileptic seizures, that are not well controlled by medications. And some of these subjects were having 10, 20, 30 seizures a day.
Oh my gosh.
You can't go out of their house.
That's exhausting.
So as a attempt to treat that, vagus nerve stimulators were implanted in some of these, and about half of them had significant benefit. Now you say at first, well, half's not a lot. Well, it's a lot if you're having 30, if you're one of the people having 30 seizures a day and you go down to having 2 or none or 3.
It's life-changing.
Life-changing. So during the course of those experiments, those clinical trials, some subjects didn't get significant benefit, so they had their device turned off, but they left it in. So researchers called them in for a clinical experiment, and they gave them a cognitive test, and they wrote down the answers, and then they turned the device on, and they gave the test again, and their scores went up.
Interesting.
That was one of the early signs of the fact that vagus nerve stimulation can improve cognitive function through enhancing neuroplasticity. It's very interesting.
Wow.
That's now been FDA approved for the treatment of rehabilitation, increasing rehabilitation in patients who've had a stroke affecting the arm.
Wow.
So what's done is the therapist does their therapy, but the delivery of the therapy is timed with giving vagus nerve stimulation through the left neck through a surgical implant. And for patients who've had paralysis of the hands and arms, the disabling thing is not being able to use the hands to feed themselves, hold a newspaper, hold a book. And the results from adding vagus nerve stimulation to that are absolutely remarkable.
Really, where people were paralyzed in an arm or a hand,
and are significantly better with their rehabilitation combined with the vagus nerve stimulation.
Maybe it's not full range and function, but it's like improved and
exactly. It's not necessarily full range of function, but it's significantly improved enough that the FDA has approved it, and wow. It's coming in.
I mean, for me, I'm all about trying to find holistic solutions to heal the mind and the body. That's what I want for myself, the people in my life, the people watching or listening around the world, is there are people that have so many different either conditions, pains, stresses, overwhelms. And I think a lot of these things stem from the way people think and how they respond to their environment that impacts the fight or flight, tension, tightness in the body, which causes inflammation, pains, things like that, which then could cause into irritable bowel syndrome or eczema or whatever it might be. And my whole vision is to bring harmony and healing to humanity, so they have the tools to do this for themselves and the people that they love. Because I think when people heal themselves and they heal their families, the world is healed. It's like there's so much more harmony in the world. There's less anger, resentment, wars, fighting, competition. It's more collaboration and more community. And that's my entire mission, is to bring people like you who have the decades of research, the knowledge, the literal hands-on surgical knowledge, and the research and the data. And so I'm curious, how can we, going back to the soul, how can we learn how to heal the soul with the different therapy strategies and techniques that you've learned as a neurosurgeon?
I think you said it best, one person at a time. So everybody's different. And I think we can approach this with realistic optimism, okay? Again, a first principle approach. The vagus nerve is transmitting reflexes. When those reflexes are functioning optimally,
Yes.
you have a harmonious function of the organs in your body in a healthy state with your brain
Yeah,
in a healthy state.
and we want brain, heart, organ coherence, is what I'm hearing you say.
100%. So
So we need the coherence of just a smooth, flowing machine, right, throughout all three systems, I guess.
what emerges from that coherence in all three systems is an emergent property. You can't predict plucking one string on a violin what the whole symphony will sound like. Mm-hmm. But the one string on a violin gone bad can make the whole orchestra sound terrible.
Right.
That's what the vagus nerve is like.
Interesting.
It's like one of the 200,000 vagus nerves.
Yes, yes.
Is like 200,000 violin strings. It's the difference between playing the piano, if the piano had 200,000 keys, and sitting on it.
Right.
So that's the role of the vagus nerve. Now, that's a fact. But let's not get carried away. Let's not say that the vagus nerve is the answer to solving all those things. It's a violin string. It has a part. If it goes bad, it can affect all those things. Mm-hmm. So what do we want to do with our interventions is we want to do our best to help keep the violin in tune.
In tune. Yeah, yeah.
Now you can do that. It gets complicated quick, right? It gets complicated quick. You can do that by making sure you have the best conductor.
Uh-huh. It's yourself, your mind, I guess.
Well, way up there, your
Yeah, yeah.
mind.
Your mind.
Your mind. And you can do that by making sure you keep the instrument in tune,
Yes.
which would be the level between your mind and the violin strings. It would be the middle of your brain where your emotional brain,
Uh-huh.
okay? Which if it gets all fired up, it's going to put everything out of tune. So once again, I just don't want to rush into any answer.
Yes.
And say, well, if the conductor has a heart attack, the orchestra's going to go out of tune.
Exactly.
If anxiety or some other emotional anxiety, fatigue, hunger, dominates, cranks the key too hard on the top of the violin, you're out of tune.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.